Good evening, everybody. Good evening indeed. Welcome to Chaz Draycott Media, and of course, welcome to the third round of the Scandinavian GT Series. We're here at the Nurburgring Nordschleife, the Gesamtstrecke layout. As you can see at the top there, it's the short layout of the Gesamtstrecke without the arena section. So, one of the many different combinations you can get here on this circuit. I am indeed Chaz Draycott. Absolute pleasure to be here for another round of this wonderful, wonderful championship. Every single time this comes around, I get very excited indeed. And what a night we're going to have here. One of the greatest and most challenging circuits in the world. And what a fantastic evening we should have. So, you see no times on the board at all on the left-hand side at the moment. That's because the drivers are currently just setting their times now. It's a very, very long lap around here. Almost, I think it was about 7 minutes, 8 minutes or something like that. I'm not sure on this layout. It does vary quite a lot. Either way, drivers are out there doing their very best at the moment. Here's Lasse back for Williams Esports, winner of the first round of the championship at Spa earlier in the season. Seems like forever ago now, doesn't he? He's got a bit of damage on the front right of that car. I'm wondering whether he's had a moment while he's out there, although a 7:36.486, first time on the board. Be intriguing to see if anybody manages to beat that. Janssen almost a second slower, but around a 7.5 minute lap, you are going to see big, big differences in those lap times. Like I said, Lasse won the very first round of the championship. Jarl Tyen, who has just gone third for MB Racing Esport Nordic, he won at Daytona last time out, and what a fantastic race we had there as well. Some of these Coanda Junior drivers were so much fun to watch. Carl Peder Nordstrand, one of them. His teammate Benjamin Fuglesang as well. Just as much fun to watch. Sindre Setsas back out there as well this evening for Core Sim Racing. We've also got Glenn Kay, who's currently in 6th position on the standings. Malte Raymer goes 15th. Got a lot of drivers that haven't put times in yet. Here's Mats Borg Andersen in the TC Motorsport machine. I must update their team name. It is just TC Motorsport, I've been told. Apologies, boys. I was told that for another championship, so I'll have to get that sorted. You gotta love their new livery as well. Very different colours to what they used to have. So interesting to see. Norglace, good to see you in the chat. Go IGL. Yes, indeed. IGL Coatings E-Racing. I broadcasted a GT3 event recently for a good friend of mine, Russell Barnes, Finding Speed. They did a special event at Bathurst, and the IGL Coatings E-Racing Ferrari was out in force there, and what a glorious car that is. Now, I've been saying about this car that, you know, you can see the metallic green, but it actually does have a pattern in it as well. It's got this very tasty pattern in there, which is like a repeat of the logo. It looks awesome. Really does. Matthias Berk is back out there in one of the prettiest cars on the grid. And I'm going to say it every single time, but the way that that windscreen banner lines up with the roof, you'll see it now from the front, is just a work of art. What a great looking car that is. The AXA Sim Sport machine. Certainly sounds good as well, doesn't it, the Mercedes? Kai Schubert, he's back out there this evening. He's a privateer at the moment. Look at the time differences, 9.7 seconds off. Emil Larsen, 25 seconds off the top spot at the moment. But that's what we're going to see. It's satin green, he says. Sorry, Norglace. Satin, indeed. Yes, I like that. Here's Kenneth Gulbrandsen for the newly named PX Racing team. In that other gorgeous livery. You've got to love that. The metallic effect on that certainly looking good alongside the matte effect as well. But Lasse back with a vengeance. Currently fastest at the moment, Kenneth Ostvold. Second fastest for MB Racing Esport Nordic. They've told me I can just call it MB Racing. So, thanks guys. Carl Janssen's third, Jarl Tyen fourth. Oscar Bixrud for Coanda Junior team. He was another one that was involved in all the fights at Daytona. He certainly had a good one. Now, Carl Frederick Hesug has just started a lap. But I'm going to try and find a driver that's nearly completed one. Matthias Jensen for VG Racing Esport team. I'm going to see if we can go on board for a little bit. We've still got 20 minutes of qualifying left, so that should be 2, maybe 3 laps if you get time to finish your third one. Listen to that thing, it just sounds absolutely phenomenal, doesn't it? So down the Grand Prix pit straight here at the Nurburgring. Jensen goes 12th into the very treacherous turn 1. You're going to see a lot of shenanigans here. Look how late they break into there as well. Keeps the car settled. Now that's the layout they used during the 24. But then what we're going to do differently here is we're going to brake and go to the right on the shorter circuit, so you're not going all the way down the hill. You skip out the Dunlop curve and of course the Schumacher S's through the left, over the crest, down to the right. And what would be the last part of the Grand Prix circuit. And hard on the power up to the chicane. Now there's also multiple layouts of this chicane as well. And you can tell we're doing the fast one this time, which is, I'd say, more difficult to get right than the slow one. And then hard onto the brakes through the left. Look how fast Matthias Jensen goes into there. These guys have this so hooked up, don't they? Hard onto the brakes, then down through the left. This is one of the most exciting parts of the circuit when you first get onto the Nordschleife. Through long right, downhill does he lift? Barely, I think a little lift on the way in just to get the car pitched. Hard onto the brakes then. Through the left, over the crest, to the right again. Whoa, big snap of oversteer. Great save though from Matthias Jensen. Another difficult left section here. There's a lot of curb, there's a lot of camber, there's a little crest in the middle of it. Norgle's saying, I don't know how they get this boat around the track so quick. Honestly, God, I don't have a clue either. Towards Flugplatz we go. Very scary part of the circuit, but you can gain so much time here. Over the crest, it's blind on the way in. Chuck it in. Chuck it in, Matthias. Go on, dare you to lift. Oh, it does lift a little bit. Catches the grass. I'm not sure whether that'll be an off-track or not. It was the tiniest kiss of the grass. He's putting his foot through the bulkhead now. Over the crest again. Now another left over the crest is a very scary part of the circuit. That doesn't even sound like he's on the brakes. It's just a slight lift there. I don't know how he's doing that. Hard onto the brakes into the hairpin. This is a maximum attack lap by Matthias Jensen. If we've got an hour's race full of this, then I am so on board. Look at this great shot now, down through the trees. All the shadows flickering away as you get to the bottom of the hill. Hit the compression, back up. Blind apex on the left, just hit that right. There's so many videos of people having accidents there, and it's hardly surprising. And then very, very long, slow chicane with curbs that feel like climbing a mountain. Hard on the power, big drift on the exit. This is just so exciting. Genuine excitement here. I'm sat here clenching my fists because this is just so much fun to watch. Long, fast left. Oh, I'd have been on the brakes through there, but Jensen slightly out of shape on the grass. Runs a little bit deep, still pushes. Now you will see these guys continue to push. They will not pull over and just stop the car and disappear, because there is a rule that you do not disappear during qualifying. You cannot reset the car. Through the left and the right. This is a very difficult quadruple apex right-hander here at the bottom of the hill, or near the bottom of the hill at least, on the way down. Hard onto the brakes again. This is probably a first gear corner here. It is. Down to first. Make sure you short shift to second. Minimise the wheel spin. I'm sure you can all agree this has been a very exciting ride with Matthias Jensen. Fantastic stuff. Lasserbach and Carl Janssen both coming into the pits, wondering whether they're going to try and get fresh tyres and get out for one final lap. Got a lot of cars on outlaps as well. One of the fastest parts of the circuit here now with Matthias Jensen. Steinbraten goes up into 12th. Long right, use the camber to your advantage. Let the car slide out slightly wide. And another high-speed section here. They must have an absolute demon of a setup on this Mercedes to have it driving like this. Just looks so much more capable in the hands of these drivers than I've ever found it. And the sound of it as well. Oh, you've got to love it. Olausen, Eirik Olausen goes up into 17th place there, the IGL Coatings E-Rating driver. How scary is that left-hander through there? Blind apex on the right here as well. Plenty of curb as well. That can also throw you way off. Matthias is wrestling the wheel all over the place. It looks to me like he's on a direct drive, the amount of inputs he's having to put in. Great drift on the exit. Now towards the carousel. One of those corners that you really want to push hard through, but you don't want to wash out wide. Look at how quickly they've got it going around there. Slingshot on the exit. The revs suddenly spike as the car pretty much leaves the ground. Double apex left up the hill into this almost chicane. It's like a very quick chicane, but then you've got a long right after it. Careful over the crest. The car wants to get away from you. It flattens out here. Now this is one of the most exciting sections. This long right, then double left, and then right again. There's one on the left. There's the next. Then you've got a right coming up towards YouTube corner. Onto the brakes. Right over the crest. Looks like Matthias not so sure about this bit. Onto the brakes. A bit of compression there. Helps the car turn in. There's the double left. Here is YouTube corner. Lovingly known as YouTube corner anyway. And then again, another right over the crest. It's like that piece of circuit just repeats on itself. Gravel on the left. You don't want to hit any of that, especially the big curb. Tight left. Clip the apex on the right over the crest, and then you want to hug the left-hand side here as you're going down towards the jump. The car will suddenly just sit on the ground, and then you've got to chuck it up to the right. There's the jump, and there is the chuck to the right. You've got a long left over the crest here. You've got to be careful of the weight transfer as you get it over there. Over another crest, down the hill, through to the Stefan Belov S. Very high-speed part of the circuit. Clip the apex on the left, or smack it if you're Matthias. Use as much road as possible. Now you've got a long right-hander up the hill. The uphill part helps you here, but as it flattens out, you get a bag of understeer through the left. Matthias handles it nicely. The second mini carousel here, easily catching people out with the lift on the exit. Bounces the back end of the car around. And we have the long triple apex right-hander now. Onto the Dottinger Höhe once again. What a thrilling lap that was with Matthias Jensen, and we're not done yet. You can stretch your legs a bit, go get a cup of tea. As the Dottinger Höhe is going to be one of the prime overtaking opportunities this evening. So much slipstreaming will be going on up here. Drivers will have to have their wits about them. I'm not sure if Matthias has got anybody in hot pursuit on this lap, to be fair. I don't think he has. No, it looks to me like he's very much on his own here. End of the Dottinger Höhe. Still flat out through the left and the right. Bit of a jump on the curb, hard on the brakes. Try and hug the wall as much as you can. Use as much as that runoff that you've got on the other side of the curb, and then flat out at the final corner. And after all that, it's into the pits. That was probably the most hairy in-lap you will ever see, everybody, but I really hope you enjoyed that one. Wow. Matthias Jensen taking us for a ride. Oh, I'm going to have to calm down now, honestly. That was brilliant fun. But what do you make of these cars around this track then, everybody? It really is a sight to behold, isn't it? GT3 machinery always has been exciting around here. I was privileged enough to be there in person last year for the Nurburgring 24 hours and commentate on the race and be on the world feed for it alongside Brian Oliver. And just seeing it in the real thing is just, it's incomparable, honestly. It's just fantastic. One of the greatest experiences I've ever had, and I was very, very grateful for it, and always will be. But the fact these drivers get to do it so closely to the real thing in the sim as well just shows you how good sim racing is. Kenneth Ostwald is still second fastest at the moment in the MB Racing Mercedes. I say that like there's MB Racing Audis and Lamborghinis and other things out there. It's great to see the Mercedes getting the love, though, in this championship. Arguably one of the best all-rounders in GT3 racing, but recent updates have unfortunately knocked it down a peg. This is Jeppe Johannesson. You hear that whine of the transmission, listen. Can't quite hear it now on the downshifts, but real whine from the transmission of that thing. A little bit out of shape. in the Silver Fox Racing car. At the final corner, goes for the line. There's the time in line. He improves, 7:44.7, but he stays in 24th position. And we have 3 different nationalities in the top 3. We have the Dane, Lasserbach, fastest at the moment. Look how close he was to the edge of the circuit through there. It's unbelievable. Let's go on board with Lasser actually and see what he makes of this section. He's currently half a second clear of Kenneth Oswald, which over a lap that's as long as this is nothing. Absolutely nothing. Look at the commitment through there. I'm genuinely like scrunching my face up and wincing at this. It's unbelievable. The confidence you have to push the car like that is just balmy. And to complete the trio, by the way, Carl Janssen, the Swede, is in 3rd place. Kenneth Oswald, the Norwegian, is 2nd. And of course, as mentioned, the Dane, Lasserbach, fastest at the minute. There is a little bit of damage to the front right of that car, but that can just come from hitting a curb too hard or just having a bump into, say, the carousel. He's going over the jump there. It's off the ground before the Stefan Belov S. Christ on a bike. I don't think I've ever felt scared watching sim racing footage before, but this is absolutely ridiculous from Lasserbach. Awesome stuff. Really is awesome stuff. Who else have we got inside the top 10 then? Carl Peder Nordstrand is 10th at the minute. He's got similar damage on that front right corner. The bonnet slightly lifted up. Carl Frederick Hersug for MB Racing, he's 9th. Kenneth Gulbrandsen is 8th. He's just about to cross the line. Can he improve on that? He does, and he goes 3rd. 7:37.3, mere thousandths faster than Carl Janssen. Carl's teammate Sindre Setsas is now knocked down into 8th position. Glenn Kay is 7th, just behind Oscar Bixrud in the Commander Junior team machine. And we have Jarl Tyen in 5th, winner of the race at Daytona just 2 weeks ago. And Carl Janssen in 4th for Core Sim Racing. Kenneth Gulbrandsen now makes it 2 Norwegians on the podium. Lasserbach is just about to come to the line. What can he do? He's got Carl Janssen in tow as well, actually. Does Lasser improve? He does not. 8:34.7. That must have been his outlap. Same with Carl. So now they'll be on their fast laps. That's what scares me. That was an outlap. That was an outlap for Lasserbach. It's just crazy pace, isn't it? Absolutely crazy pace. Don't forget, everybody, if you haven't already, please do make sure you like the video. And, of course, subscribe to Chaz Draycott Media if you would like to. I would very much appreciate the support. Thank you very much indeed. But what a wonderful spread of talent we have in this field. Never surprising us, though. You know, not in a bad way. You know, I don't mean that in a bad way. They're just, we expect this unbelievable pace from them, don't we? And we get treated to it every single time we go racing. It's phenomenal. Here's Quinn Badhams through the final corner. Got the spec map on that car. Just doesn't look like the livery's loaded properly. Across the line. Improves, but stays 31st. That was Larson just in front. 7:59.3. We've got... I was going to say personal best sectors, but it doesn't look like it from Kenneth Gulbrandsen. We'll have to keep an eye on him. Look at the speed they get down the hill. Absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? There you can hear that whine. Oh, looked a bit out of shape over the crest of the hill there as well to Kenneth. That was a lively moment indeed. Manages to keep it all together, though. That's the difference between these drivers and I. I have a moment like that, my head falls off. I have a real wobble and then I can't recover from that. This downhill section is so tricky to get right as well. It's going to be intriguing to see how they put up with it over the course of a race run as well, with other drivers putting the pressure on them for position. Either way, we're in for a very, very entertaining evening's racing. 5.5 minutes of qualifying left to go then. Let us know in the chat. Do you have any picks for the race? Anybody that you've got your eye on in particular? If you just bear with me 2 seconds, everybody. Just having a bit of a technical issue here. We will continue to watch Kenneth Gulbrandsen for the rest of this lap. If you just bear with me 2 seconds, we have a bit of a technical issue, so I will be right back. Okay, apologies about that, everybody. Just had a bit of an ongoing technical issue there, but just wanted to just take a second to just focus on that, make sure that we do not have the stream ruined in any way. Either way, Kenneth Gulbrandsen is attacking this lap at the moment. Did you see how wonderfully he went through the carousel? One wheel just on the tarmac on the inside of the lumpy bit, as I call it. It was a very, very clean run through indeed. Look at this now, through the Stefan Beloff S. Just under 3 minutes to go. And the drivers that are within 3 minutes of finishing a lap, I would say Lasse Bak and Carl Janssen will be able to get another one in here. Logan Greenway in the chat. Yes, they are all Mercedes, my friend. This is a one-make series. And it's a very, very good one. The racing has been absolutely phenomenal. After we're done this evening, I definitely encourage you to go and watch the previous round at Daytona. The top 10 battle there with the likes of Benjamin Fuglsang and some of the other Coanda Junior drivers, the MV Racing team, Lasse Bak of Williams Esports. It was just a sight to behold. It was beautiful stuff. Really was beautiful. Gulbrandsen then out the final corner. What can he do to improve? Third at the moment, barely a second off the pace. Doesn't improve, 7:38.225. He will go on to another lap though, so he will get another chance to try and improve. We only have as he counts. 11 cars on track at the moment. Thank you very much, Logan. It's honestly, PC sim racing is just phenomenal. It really is. You know, there's some great options out there for the console side of things, but yeah, I think just the customization and freedom of PC gaming is a little bit more open. As Lasserbach crosses the line, Carl Janssen goes third, 7:37.022. So good stuff from Carl to improve there. 0.06 of a second slower than Kenneth Oswald. He will be gutted at that difference. Bear in mind that's over the course of a 7.5 minute lap. That's incredibly close. Incredibly close indeed. This is Carl Peder Nordstrand still carrying that damage as Furuseth. Sindre Furuseth crosses the line. Oscar Bixrud's going to be the next one across the line as well by the look of it. Carl's teammate. There goes Oscar. Flat out to the line. 6th at the moment, 1.3 seconds off, does not improve. And Carl Peder Nordstrand deciding to abandon that lap and go into the pits. Let's jump on board with Sindre Setsas and see his final sector. Listen to that thing sing all the way down the Dottinger onto the brakes into the final few corners. Plenty of curb either side for Sindre, but still pushing hard. Tries to take the shortest route to the line. Looks good for it though, he's kept his foot in it. What's it going to be? 4th place, 7:37.293 for Sindre Setsas. Puts 2 core sim racing cars in the top 4. Really strong stuff by the pair of them. Here's Glenn Kay. He's just about to come onto the Dottinger as well. See what he can do with it now. Looks so slow from that angle, doesn't it? Flying past the camera though. Definitely doesn't look slow there. Through the long left. Not long to go on the lap now. That really gives you a sight of how quickly they're going as it goes up the hill, hard onto the brakes, chucks it to the left. Bit of curb on the right, uses plenty of the little runoff there. Straightens it up for the line. And across said line he goes. What does Glenn Kay get for his troubles? 7:41.636. We also have Havard Collin and Sindre Setsas coming into the pits. I think Sindre went on the Grand Prix loop there, which they're perfectly allowed to do, I believe. Now, who else have we got? Kenneth Gulbranson is halfway round a lap. Ollie Steinbraten is on a lap as well. Both PX racing cars. Although Kenneth is on a slowdown lap by the sound of it. To me, Ola Steinbraten looks like he's on an absolute flyer. He's not holding back, is he? Back up the hill to the right. There's a big bump on the way in there. Easy for it to spit you away from the apex. Foot flat down again. We're going to go through a hard right-hander here. Hard on the brakes. Use the camber to your advantage. There's a little bit of a pointy bit on the apex where the curb sticks out. Manages to avoid it nicely. Just taking a minute there to appreciate the commitment from Ola Steinbraten through the long left and up the hill into the right. We're going to be going to the carousel any second now. Let's see what Ola does with this line here. We're going to go outside the car. Watch his left wheels. Where does he put them? Just inside the lumpy bit. Again, look, that's fantastic. So it's like watching a scale electric car around there, isn't it? Wonderful pace, phenomenal commitment. Kenneth Gulbrandsen is only just up the road from Ola Steinbraten. So Kenneth will either have to get a move on or get out of the way, because this is definitely a fast lap from Ola. I'm confident in saying that, so if I'm proven wrong, then yep, Chaz is an idiot. Don't make that a hashtag. 13th at the moment though, Ola Steinbraten, a 7:39.08. Only 2.5 seconds off the top spot. Barely anything in it. Again, considering how long a lap is around here, plenty of curb on the right hand side over the crest of the hill. Foot flat. Here's the jump. There you go. You can see the rubber as well that's been left on the circuit from when the cars are landing there. Absolutely flying through that bit there. You often forget about the graffiti as well, by the way. Now I've pointed it out, you're probably not going to stop looking at it, but honestly, you forget how much graffiti there is around this circuit, and I think that's part of what makes it so lovable. Ola Steinbraten, only a couple of corners to go. We will see Kenneth Gulbrandsen any moment. Now this could be an interesting little tactic here. Could Kenneth potentially give Ola some slipstream? Let's not get into that. Some slipstream onto the Dottinger Her. Very much so. That's a very interesting tactic indeed. I like that. I really do like that. That's very, very good teamwork from these pair. As you can see from the LCD screens on the windscreen there, Kenneth Gulbrandsen is currently 5th. You'll see Kenneth move out of the way in a moment. They've executed this wonderfully. Kenneth gets out of the way. There you go. And Ola Steinbraten is free to fly on through. It is one of the easiest places on the circuit to gain time via slipstream. Probably the best. Because let's face it, it's just down to keeping your foot pinned and making sure that you catch your teammate at the right time. Ola Steinbraten then to the line. Last car to finish in qualifying. What is it going to be? Place your bets. Bets are in. Oh, second fastest from Ola Steinbraten. Fantastic stuff. Wow. No offence, but I wasn't expecting that much of a jump. Well, that shuts me up. Wow. Awesome stuff there from Ola Steinbraten. Unbelievable pace and great use of the slipstream there. You have to hand it to them. That was some glorious, glorious teamwork, that was. As it falls nice and quiet here at the Nurburgring Nordschleife. We do still have some cars in the pits. Benjamin Fuglesang is there. But wow, that was very, very clever stuff, that. I enjoyed that a lot. We have no cars now on pit lane, so listen. Bit of peace and quiet at the Nurburgring Nordschleife. This is, of course, the Gesamtstrecke short layout without the arena section. The Gesamtstrecke is basically the combined circuit with the Grand Prix circuit and the Nordschleife that they use in the 24 hours of the Nurburgring. However, they don't go all the way down to the Dunlop curve at the end. So they do still cut out some of the track. I think, actually we do have a car in the pits there. Louis Rizan is sat in the pits. Well, I think, without knowing it, he may be the reason that this session is still ticking over here. The blimp is moving very, very slowly. Or at least I think it's moving. I don't think it is, you know. No, it is. Or is it? Oh, I'm going mad. No, I don't think it is. The blimp is not moving at all. There you go. It's a wonderful livery on that car as well. Certainly does look good. I know exactly who did that livery, and he did the Zancho Simsport liveries. Zancho Simsport, the team that I drive for and work with. Fantastic bunch of guys. But we do just wait now. Let's just listen as well to the idle noise of a Mercedes in the wild. I'll turn it up for you as well, just before the car disappears from the session, just so you can hear it. That's a dirty noise, isn't it? That's a dirty, dirty noise. 6.3 litre V8 in these Mercedes AMG GT3 cars. Propelling them around at some ridiculous pace, and especially around here. Joachim Gulbrandsen saying he'd love to forward the session, but he's not allowed. That is all good, my friend. All good indeed. We'll bring up the graphic again on the left so you can see the top of the pile there. There you go. As the car now does disappear from the session. That's Louis Rizan. And before long, we should have a grid to have a look at. There will be a very, very short warm-up lap, essentially, before the rolling start. So it won't be too long before we get the race underway. And an hour's racing here at the Nurburgring Nordschleife will be ours to enjoy. Based on what you've seen in qualifying, though, guys, let us know. Who do you think will take this one? Lasserbach, previous race winner in this championship. He won the very, very first race at Spa-Francorchamps. Pretty much a month ago now, wasn't it? No, nearly a month ago. And then, of course, Jarl Tyen finished first at Daytona. He is 7th on the grid for today's race. And that race at Daytona as well was an absolute belter, wasn't it? If you haven't seen that, I do urge you to go back and have a look. There is the Porsche safety car. And here is our grid. Lasserbach on pole position from Ola Steinbraten after that wonderful use of the slipstream. Then we have Kenneth Ostwald and Carl Janssen, with Sindre Setsas and Kenneth Gulbrandsen on row 3. Jarl Tyen lines up alongside Oscar Bixrud with Glenn Kay and Carl Hersug on row 5, rounding out your top 10. Carl Peder Nordstrand is 11th ahead of Benjamin Fuglesang, the two Commander Junior drivers, together on row 6. Then their teammate Dennis Bjerk just behind them. Matthias Jensen is 14th. Then it's Kim Salverson ahead of Asger Radstedt. We then have Sindre Furuseth ahead of Lucas Dorgard. Harvard Collin and Jovegard Godestad round out your top 20. Niles Erik Isaacson and Matthias Berg are 21st and 22nd ahead of Eirico Lawson and Kjetil Larsen in 24th. Matthias Dahl lines up alongside Malte Raymer with Idar Gjerdevic and Jeppe Johannesson on the 14th row. Kai Schubert is then alongside Stein Bjerk on the 15th row. Apologies. Anders Lillejorde is alongside Harry Kjellin in the 777 machine on row 16, with Quinn Badams and Marty Jakola in 33rd and 34th. 35th is Emil Larsen ahead of Daniel Sondergaard in 36th. And behind them we have Mats Borg Andersen and Chris Tapio, followed by Stefan Hjelvik, Christian Hovden, Louis Rizan, Marius Skoglund, Andreas Helgerud and Kenneth Palsrud lining up at the back of the grid. So you can hear the cars. You can just about see them there through the wonderful fan shop and whatever the hell that van is. But there you go. Look at that. Look at the grid there. Someone really needs to make this blimp move, but it doesn't seem to move at the moment. Love it, though. Either way, we have one hell of a grid on our hands. And one hell of a race coming up for you here, everybody. As you've seen, a 44-car grid. Some very lovely liveries. It's a very white right-hand side of the grid, isn't it? Most of the cars using white as their base colour on the livery. It does suit the Mercedes well. I think that's because it's pretty much either Williams, which is white, blue and black. The MB Racing cars are white, blue and black. Or, well, just white and black, apologies. Then it's Corsim Racing, white and orange. And then the Commander Junior cars are white, purple and orange as well. Ola Steinbraten on the front row of the grid as well. Looking very potent for this one. You will see the positions move around on the left-hand side of your screen, everybody. That's just as they overtake one another behind the safety car. Peter Agner Brindham in the chat saying Lasserbach is most likely going to win. He's a really good driver. He is indeed. He is fantastic. I would, however, like to see Matthias Dahl, number 412, up in the top part of the leaderboard. Yes, indeed. Matthias Dahl starting 25th at the moment. A bit further down the order, but still hoping for a strong result. Either way, the Porsche safety car is about to peel in. And these Mercedes-AMG GT3 cars are going to get the third round, as there's a bit of a check-up and a bit of contact by the sound of it. More of a check-up. Oh, they're getting ready to go, but the third round of the Scandinavian GT Series here on iRacing is underway from the Nurburgring Nordschleife. And it looks like Kim Salverson's had a good start already a bit further down. He's getting 2 places. Let's see how everybody behaves themselves into the first couple of corners. Any argy-bargy, any shenanigans? Yes, indeed. There's one of the MB cars around. Contact with one of the Commander Junior cars. Now they're going to go 3, nearly 4 wide in there. The AXA car's been turned around. That's Matthias Berg. Manages to save it. He's got the 25 of Lucas Dorgard in there. And you could literally say he did guard his door, didn't he, as they went through there. Front of the pack, though, all still nice and tidy. Great stuff from all of them. Any big losers in the field so far? No, actually. Everyone's kept it tidy. Vegard Godestad has actually lost 5 positions so far. Lucas Dorgard just in front has lost 6, but I'm sure they'd rather that than DNF at this point. But Lasserbach has got nearly a second lead at the front of the field already over Ole Steinbraten, who's got Kenneth Oswald, Carl Janssen, Kenneth Gulbrandsen, Sindre Setsas and Oscar Bixrud right behind. So many close chases indeed. It's close between Matthias Dahl and the 2 cars in front are side by side. That's Salverson and O'Lawson. O'Lawson getting hung out to dry in the IGL car. He's going to lose a position to his teammate as well. 3 positions in the matter of a corner. Won't be happy with that. Matthias Berg just behind. And he thought it was exciting when we were hot lapping during qualifying. These things at race pace chasing one another in a humongous snake of cars is just as exciting, if not more. Look at the flow through here. Great stuff. Matthias Berg having a look at the 41 of Eirik O'Lawson. Nothing doing yet, but look at these guys at the front of your pack. There's your race winner from Daytona, Jarl Tyen, in the number 8. Over the crest, they're almost jumping off the ground there. Glenn Kay has got Carl Peder Nordstrand right with him. One of the Commander Junior team drivers. Very talented bunch of individuals, you have to say. Near the very back of the pack, this is Marius Skoglund. Trying to get past Kenneth Palsrud. Side by side into the left. That's not going to work, boys. They really have to get out of that there. Behind them as well, Christian Hovden looking for an opportunity. Nothing doing there, though. They get back on the power and off they go. O'Lawson. Oh, that was a moment there for Dorgard. He had a real wobble on the way into the chicane. Had to get on the brakes very late indeed. But Eirik O'Lawson at the moment, he's going to be hating this. He's got cars all around him. Actually, you know what? There, past him, goes Matthias Berg. And now just behind, he's got Lucas Dorgard and a train of them. He's got Godestad, Raymer, Larsen, Anderson and Johannesson as well. All in there. There's been a position change further down, further up I should say. That's Dennis Björk. No, it's not, sorry, it's Glenn Kay. Having a real moment there. Not sure what happened to him, but let's have a look. He's just gone a little bit too hot. Whoa, the car gets out of shape and then he hits the grass as well. Fantastic car control by Glenn Kay, but he's going to hate the sight of Commander cars going past him, isn't he? Wow. Lively. Third place, it's close. This is third and fourth. Kenneth Ostwald just ahead of Carl Janssen. Do we dare? Yes, we do dare. Carl Janssen right behind him. sight in the background as well, all the hills. Well, Janssen getting closer and closer, but the thing is, what can he do around here? Which way is he going to go? Which way is he going to play this? He's flashing the lights. You can even see that from up here in the blimp. Nothing doing there. Through the left. It's close further down as well. Look at this going on. This is Dorgard again. This is a very lively first lap, hasn't he? There's Lucas Dorgard. He's on the inside of Eirik Olaursson. Oh, he's at the curb. He's run a bit wide and through down the inside. Godestad says, thank you very much indeed. Malte Reimer's going through as well. He's going to lose out to his teammate. Kjetil Larsson's in there. Now he's got Mats Borg Andersen, Jeppe Johannesson, and potentially Kai Schubert. No, Kai's not quite with that, or is he? No, he is. Kai Schubert is right there. Let's get an onboard shot through the carousel. See how this looks. Guys swapping positions all over the place in front of them. Anyone hung out to dry? Yes, one of the IGL cars is having to take the long way around. It's just nowhere near as quick. This is lively racing. This is so interesting. How they're going to keep this up through the whole thing, I do not know. A live timing link. Yes, that would be very useful of me, wouldn't it? There you go. Now, please do bear in mind, guys, if you do use the live timing, the gaps and all the relative times do update based on what car we're looking at in the sim at the time. So you will see them move around quite a bit. So please do bear with it. I've pinned the message as well to the live timing link. But look at this lot here. Kenneth Gulbrandsen has got Sindre Setsas right behind him. Furuseth just runs a little bit wide. But I'm going to touch wood, we've had no major incidents so far. Mats Borg Andersen, by the way, who we just saw a minute ago, he's gained 10 places in this race so far. And there's not a mark on that car by the look of it either. He is having a really good run. Great stuff. Great stuff from him so far. Oh, Louis Rizan has just run wide, but managed to survive it. Cars all over the place here. It's just such a packed field and such a close field as well. Everybody is so fast in this pack. Whoa, big slide by Niels-Erik Isaacson. And look again, hung out to dry on the second carousel, and he's lost 4 places. Oh no, Mats Borg Andersen, who I've just mentioned there. Oh, that's got to be a commentator's curse, if I've ever seen one. Mats Borg Andersen off the road. Lucas Dorgard has also had one as well. Let's have a look at what happened to Mats. Oh, the car's got away over the crest. He's going to hit the curb and it's going to unsettle it into the wall. He was lucky it didn't come back onto the circuit. What happened to Dorgard? He's going to lose it through the right. Oh, he's just understeered into the wall. Manages to crack on, but that thing's going to be hurt in a straight line. There's going to be so much slipstreaming going on. We've even got slipstreaming as the cars come across the line then. First lap of the race underway. Sorry, first lap of the race complete. Is Sindre Setsas and Kenneth Gulbrandsen. Sindre very late on the brakes. Kenneth's gone into the back of the car in front. That was Kenneth Ostwald. Kenneth won't appreciate that. It's the two Kenneths together. Ken and Ken. Does that make Sindre Barbie? I'm not sure. Either way, Setsas. Oh, Kenneth Gulbrandsen getting blocked off there by Ostwald. Very last minute on the way in. Sindre's going to be eyeing this up as an opportunity, but he'll be getting very frustrated not to get through yet. Sindre knows his way around this circuit. Let's put that into perspective. He's raced here many times in the real world. But either way, the sim makes it a very level playing field. Out in front in the lead though at the moment by nearly 2 seconds. Lasser back. They'll be shouting comeback at this rate. Ola Steinbratten's doing a great job at holding on to second, by the way. He's opened that gap up as well. Carl Janssen is third. Just trying to see who's the closest on track. We've got Jeppe Johannesson having a go at Eirik Olaursson. Down the inside into the chicane. Eirik could lose a place to Kai Schubert if he's not careful. Kai looks down the inside. Nothing doing there. Kim Salverson as well is looking like he's in an interesting position. He's got Asger Radstedt and Havard Collin just in front there. Oh, Louis Rizan's had an issue, I'm afraid. What's happened to Louis? That's turn 1. That's turn 2. Oh, there's a car there. I think that might have been Mats Borg Anderson. It is. Just had a bit of a tap. Back on board then with Kim Salverson. Bit of damage on the front of that car. It did get a little bit argy-bargy in the opening lap. Nicola Steer in the chat. Is this Mercedes only? It is, my friend. But the series is all the better for it. I tell you what, it's very exciting to watch. And look at this in front. Oh, Asger Radstedt and Havard Collins so close together. Salverson trying to help his teammate out here and take some of the pressure off. I'll tell you what, Colin will be looking back thinking, just leave me alone. I want to break away and have a clean race. I want to have a peaceful race. Not that you get that around the Nordschleife. Look how menacing that Mercedes looks. That's the number 6 of Asger Radstedt. It hits the curb big time on the way in. A few different lines up there as well. Quite interesting to see. Oh, that's such a scary sight. How close they get to one another is just amazing. Stefan Hjelvik, speaking of being close, he's right behind Quinn Badhams. He's on Badhams' bottom. Looks like he's already hit the back of that car in front as well. It's very much the Batmobile, isn't it, Quinn Badhams' machine? Go back to this though. Very close fight. 2 MB Racing cars, the VG Racing eSport team machine in the middle. It looks like actually Asger Radstedt has dropped back a little bit. Oh, we've got cars off in the background, just kissing the wall. Isaacson just having a moment maybe. Matthias Berg right behind him. I'll show you on the left hand side the drivers that have gained the most places at the moment. Matthias Dahl has gained 6. Aidar Gjerdevic has gained 7. Great stuff from him. 6 for Chris Tapio as well. Oh, Mats Borg Anderson's had another nightmare. Oh, it's going to get worse. Oh, and again in the wall. Oh, and again. And he's going to park it. Understandable. Not his day. Oh, Havard Collins just gone off as well. That battle we were watching earlier, that's going to give Asger Radstedt the run. Especially through here. He's got to let his teammate go here so he doesn't hinder him too much, because surely Salverson can have a go. Try and get that place back for the team. Side by side they go. Up the hill, they're going to go through the right, give each other room, boys. Now through the left. Salverson's going to be on the inside for this. Fantastic stuff by Kim. Holds on to the pace. Nice little swap around there. Asger Radstedt's going to be sick of seeing the MB Racing cars around him. That's a very, very strong, darty attack. Although, actually, you know what? Matthias Dahl is off the back of this. That's Radstedt's teammate. So it's 2 on 2, and then you've got 2 of the IGL Coatings cars. Axis SimSport, and then another VG Racing eSport team machine just behind them there in the form of Matthias Jensen. Oh no, we've got Asger Radstedt off. Oh, he's lost it on the exit. He's in a treacherous position. They'll try and spin it back around. Can't believe we're already 13 minutes into this race, nearly a quarter of the way through already. It's too much fun. I really do love this championship, guys, honestly. I don't just say it, I really do. It's so much fun to cover this. There's never a shortage of action. Oh no, Harry Kjellin's off further back. Oh, he's had a real moment. That's out of the carousel as well. In the very pretty Team Vikings machine, but the back of that car looking a bit second hand at the moment. This is inside your top 10, even inside your top 5. Kenneth Oswald trying to stay ahead of Kenneth Gulbrandsen. The 2 Kens having a go. They seem to have got away from Sindre a little bit on this lap. This is still going on. Havard Collin just behind Matthias Dahl. He's got Aidar Gjerdevic in there as well. The two IGL coatings, the E-Racing cars, clinging on to the back of this fight. Whoa, Matthias Jensen through the air there. That looked very out of shape, very sideways. Always a spectacle, isn't it, seeing those cars jump down that hill. This battle in front, though, is phenomenally close. You can see, actually, there you go. Bit of a move going on. Howard Collin and Idar Gerdovic right together. We'll jump to Howard Collin so you can see the two of them teaming up. Oh no, which way do you go? You can't help it. He's going to go in flying formation with the two of them. He moves over to the right. There's only a certain amount you can do when you're on a straight like this. Oh, don't make it three wide, boys. Don't do this. Oh, he just covers off the car on the left. That's not Isaacson, that's Gerdovic. Isaacson's the car on the right. He's managed to defend it all the way up there. How has he done that? That's phenomenal. Oh no, Marius Skoglund's off and in the wall hard. Just saw that pop up on the timing screen. Now Carl Janssen has taken second place off Ola Steinbraten. Down the main pit straight here. Down in towards turn one, so great stuff from Carl Janssen. But he's got a fight on his hands now to hold on to it. Again though, these IGL cars still sticking together. Great racing either way. Oh, Kenneth Palsrod's had an issue. Up through the right, understeering. Oh, then oversteering. And you know what? In the real 24, we saw a number of cars do that. Up that hill, it just seems to really unsettle the car. It just seems as you go up that hill and it starts to flatten out slightly, the weight over the rear end goes and you can easily spin up the rears. So, we're over 15 minutes of the way through this race so far. Hope you're enjoying it. I am. I love this. They will need to pit during this race, don't forget that. It may not be as strategic or as interesting a pit stop as we've seen in the other rounds, because a lap of fuel is such a big difference. You may see them all come in on one lap, but either way, that just means that we're going to get straight back to sprint racing when they go back out there. This is an effective form of GT3 sprint racing, though. A lot of sprint races in the GT3 racing world are 1 hour long. The British GT Championship in particular uses 2 1-hour races over a weekend usually. Sometimes 1 2-hour race. They even do a 6-hour race, I believe, at Silverstone. I think it might be 3 hours, I might be wrong. You never know, I'm a commentator, we're usually wrong. Here's Matthias Jensen trying to get past Idar Gerdovic. You can see gradually getting closer and closer and closer. Oh, that's very close indeed, isn't it? Peter in the chat asking, do the drivers get penalties for hitting each other? Yeah, if they... Basically, if a driver feels hard done by an incident, then they can protest it, as they call it. They submit, basically, a video clip of what's gone on from multiple angles, you know, to make it fair. And then the stewards will take a look at it and see whether they need to imply any penalties for subsequent rounds. So there are stewards post-race. I don't believe there are live race stewards in this one. But either way, you know, the whole stewarding and penalty system behind the world of sim racing is fantastic. It's very in-depth. Very, very, very in-depth. Trust me on that one. Either way, we've got a proper race on our hands here with some of these guys at the top end of the order. Kenneth Ostwald is still only just ahead of Sindre Setsas. Oh, that looks a bit sideways up there as well. Look how out of shape some of the cars are getting. Where's he going? There he goes. Wow. Committed stuff from Sindre Setsas. Really pushing hard then. 5th place now. He's back where he started. Kenneth Oswald started 3rd on the grid. He's down to 6th place. He won't be too chuffed with that. Carl Janssen is up to 2nd after starting 4th. Kenneth Gulbranson started 6th and is up to 4th. Matthias Dahl, 9 places gained for him at the minute. Biggest mover in the field. Chris Tapio has gained 8 spots. Lovely RPM machine. And Idar Kjedovic has also gained 8, but by the look of it, Matthias Jensen wants to change that and turn it back down to 7. Very close together up through the right. And another one. And they've got big commitment through the left. Look at the speed that they're doing through there. Vile. It's great, isn't it? Matthias Jensen is trying very hard indeed, though. It's not the prettiest looking Mercedes you've ever seen. But he's throwing everything at this at the moment. They've then got Matthias Berg just behind them in the AXA SimSport machine. Into the carousel we go. It's all about being consistent around there. A little bit of wheel spin on the exit, but these cars are no stranger to that. Up the hill once again. Oh, big bounce there from Matthias Jensen. It was like something out of Monster Jam. Launched it over the curb, but he manages to get a really good run actually on the back of Idar Kjedovic. Can he do anything about taking a position here? Look at the speed that he's carrying across these curbs. I mean, the Mercedes has always been good at eating up curbs and bounces, but these drivers are pushing so hard. They really are testing the limits of this car, aren't they? Matthias just needs to be patient here, I think, and try and get past down the Dottinger Her. Or does he? Never mind. Chucks it up the inside. Kjedovic gives him the room. Kjedovic stays in front, though. Needs to be careful, because Matthias Berg will want a piece of this as well. He's not too far behind, look. And I totally agree, Peter, about the damage in the chat. There is actually the new damage model for iRacing on some of their cars. So they do get parts that fall off, but it's only on certain cars at the moment, not on these ones. And Helwick saying Chaz and Mercedes isn't good on curbs at all, trust me. Yeah, I can imagine firsthand, mate. It's not. It may look good from up here, but I imagine it's not the easiest thing to get over the curbs. Now then, this is your battle for 2nd and 3rd. Carl Janssen ahead of Ola Steinbraten. Don't expect it to stay that way when they go through this left-hander. Or, shut up Chaz, you're wrong. So, Carl Janssen staying in front then. Ola maybe just saving fuel at this point, thinking we don't need to battle that hard yet. You know, we've still got pit stops and a few more laps to go. Lasser back though, still leading the way. Flawless performance so far. Great stuff. Now then, figure out this stalemate. Howard Cullen on the left. Nails Eric Isaacson on the right and now in front. Oh, there's contact behind. That's Idar Kjedovic. Sideways. He's on the brakes. Oh, he's got the car stopped, but who's going to come through, flying through? He gets out of the way nicely. Good awareness from the guys behind. What caused that, though? With Idar Kjedovic. Who was that in there with him? Oh, there was a lot of netcode involved in that. It was Matthias Jensen. Oh, he nearly gets cleaned up by his teammate as well there. To sort of rid Jensen of any blame, though. Look at this. Kjedovic does turn in. I just think he didn't have the overlap there. There wasn't enough room as it is, but the netcode really didn't help that. You'll have seen the cars didn't really physically touch there, but the sim expected them to. And that was so close. With the car that was going past them there. Trying to figure out who that was. tiniest of touches. Wasn't, was it the Silver Fox car that went through? It wasn't, was it? Oof, so close. So close indeed. Might have been Godestad, you know. I think if we go back to this and go on board with Godestad, even better. Shut your eyes. Ready? Wow. Close from Godestad one more time, and we'll have a look from the roll bar camera. Thank you very much, Logan. Oh, there's Edar going around. Is Godestad heads up? Oh, didn't look too bad from there, but even still, scary, scary moment indeed. And Jovegard Godestad lives to fight another day. I'll be very pleased with that. Yeah, to be fair, Logan, I mean, mentioning iRacing, the way iRacing looks, the way it broadcasts, everything looks so natural with iRacing, and it's hard to explain how it does it, but the racing is just, it's realistic racing. You know, the drivers can just drive as you'd expect to see them in the real world. The way the racing is portrayed is just so realistic. You know, some of these guys are some of the best in the world. I mean, Core Sim Racing, Williams Esports, MB Racing, Esport Nordic, PX Racing, Coanda Junior as well. I mean, some of the very best sim racing teams in the world. We have a fantastic roster of drivers in this series, and it's great to be covering it. This is not your average league, I can tell you that. Kenneth Ostwald is not your average driver either. Same with Sindre Setsas. Sindre, very talented lad, very quick indeed. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, Niles Eric Isaacson. I'll get your name right one day, mate. He's had a real moment there. What on earth caused this? Up the hill he goes. Over the curb. Oh, through the right. The car just understeers. Listen to that. It was painful. And then suddenly the wall is there. Big jump. Big damage to the front end. Manages to carry on, but he won't be pleased with that. It's little moments like that that can knock your confidence properly. But this battle intrigues me at the moment. Apologies. Sindre Setsas with Kenneth Ostwald right behind him. There's going to be a lot of slipstreaming going up here on this part of the circuit. Thank you everybody that's watching so far. Please do remember to like the video. Show your support for the channel. Please do subscribe. And don't forget that we do have the final round of the championship 2 weeks from today on the 20th of March, where we'll be coming at you from Circuit de la Sarthe, or Le Mans as it is known to most. Look at that. It's a very angry looking car, isn't it? The Mercedes AMG GT3. Kenneth Ostwald just sticking to the back of Sindre through there. Hard onto the brakes then, into the long right. Oh, a little bit of a moment there by Sindre. He's pushing hard. Into the carousel they go once again. It's great to see those cars go around there at such pace, isn't it? Jarl Tyen just behind this. Your race winner from Daytona. You know, one of the interesting points here, Logan, with what you were saying about the realism of this, is the fact that it's sunny. When I covered the Nurburgring 24 hours last year at the circuit, it was miserable. It was raining, it was cold, it was damp. Well, everybody does say that it has its own climate around there. The Nurburgring does have its own weather conditions that just generate and then degenerate. It's crazy how quickly the rain just appears and then disappears again. I've never witnessed anything like it. Starting to settle down a little bit in the midfield here. Potentially drivers thinking, you know, they could either do one more lap or they could pit early, get away from traffic. Drivers like Niles Eric Isaacson, again, I'll get it right one day. he's just going to be thinking, right, I've got a bit of damage. I've got cars around me that I could potentially battle with. Is it worth pitting a lap early? Get the fuel and get to the end. They know the car will do half an hour. Oh no, there's a car off in front. Oh no. That was Havard Collin. Oh, that was a big, big moment, that. Lucas Dorgard nearly getting through. Havard Collin, though, having a reel off. Is he just going to clip the gravel? Yeah, he is. And spins up the rears and it spits it across. He got lucky not to be chucked into the path of the other cars behind there as well. And yes, indeed, Peter, the gap between 15th and 16th is nearly 10 seconds. Kim Salverson, not too much going on at the moment. He's 4.7 seconds back off Sindre Furuseth. And then Matthias Dahl, obviously getting caught up in that battle earlier, has really knocked him back. And it's hard to try and gain that much without any slipstream. And yes, Logan, I'm a real-life motorsport commentator as well. As mentioned, I did cover the real-world Nurburgring 24 hours last year with Brian Oliver. I was on the world feed for that one. There at the circuit in person as well. It was an absolutely unbelievable trip. I was very grateful to do it. I've covered multiple club racing meetings in the UK as well, and have been booked to do more again this year, now that we've been given a date to go back racing. So very, very excited to get back out there. And just the sights and the sounds and the smells. Sim racing is wonderful. I adore the fact that we can go and do this, and I can sit here in my office at home and cover this. And the fact that, you know, every so often I can race, albeit badly, but nothing quite beats the atmosphere of being there in person, I must admit. Kubi, yes, the damage does affect the cars in terms of performance. Does indeed. Havard Collin, after that hit, has decided to come in the pits as well. They do get damage that affects them, yes. This is as well, I'm not going to open the can of worms of saying this is the best simulator, but for me, iRacing is. You know, it does simulate things very, very well. They get all of the bits you'd expect. It's almost like taking an arcade game and just stick everything on hard mode. You know, it's not the grippiest sim out there. It's very difficult to master having the cars on the very edge. These things do have ABS traction control as well. A lot of the drivers run without them on. Joachim there, ready to pick up on anything I say. You lot, honestly, like vampires. It's all good though, but yeah, you know, for me, iRacing is the best sim. There you go. But it's a matter of opinion, you know. Everybody has their own favourites. Yeah, I'd say iRacing's the best all-rounder. The thing is, for me, I've said this a million times recently. If you look at how the camera behaves of where the car isn't always right in the middle of the shot. You know, it's not fixed perfectly to the car. There's a bit of what they call dampening, so it looks like the camera is human-operated. The way the cars move is all very natural. And yeah, as Joachim has just said in the chat, you know, putting servers up, the actual racing itself is just incredibly realistic. It's wonderful. It really is. Oh, Niles Eric Isaacson's had an incident. There you go, I told you I'd get it right. Oh, spins it around. Is he going to hit the wall? No, he manages to save it, actually. Or save it from hitting anything. Oh, the wing just goes over the barrier there. Oh no, Carl Frederick Hosuga's had an issue. If we can click on him. Let's have a look what happened here. Into the hairpin. Is it just going to unload on him halfway round? Or is he going to clip the grass on the exit? Oh, that's a biggie. Oh, he's hit the wall side on as well. Those sorts of hits really hurt the car. Doesn't lose too much time from the actual incident, though, but how much is he going to lose in damage? We're over the halfway point now, by the way. So plenty of time still to go in this race. Oh, Matthias Dahl's had a big one. That's a big, big hit for Matthias. The car is sideways. Hopefully he's not going to come on in front of his teammate, who's also got damage there. That's Matthias Jensen. Oh, Anders Lillis Jorde's gone off as well. Oh, he's clipped the grass. Oh, that's so similar to what his teammate did before. Mats Borg Anderson, and he gets a clip as well from behind. He's going to disappear to the pits. There he goes. Swap to Matthias Doyle through the left-hander. We've all seen this before. How many clips have you seen like that on YouTube? Oh, smack into the wall, side on. Good awareness from Jensen there that he was coming back on like that as well. But that, unfortunately, is Anders Ledejorde in the pits. And Lasseback's racing again tomorrow. Around in the Danish Championship. That's very interesting. He's a quick boy. 4.7 second lead at the moment for Lasseback. And I know with the amount of puns I've made about his name this season, you'd expect a bit more respect from me. I just want to say I massively respect how quick he is. But once he gets to the front, he doesn't look back, does he? There you go. Still, phenomenal performance so far this season from Lasseback. Looking for his second win of the campaign, 2 out of 3. And what a place to do it as well. The Nurburgring Nordschleife Gesamtstrecke. Look at these pair as well for second place. Carl Janssen and Ola Steinbronn. Ola's been great this race. In the really deceivingly 911 numbered Mercedes-AMG GT3. 35 minutes in now, nearly 36. 25 minutes left to go in this race. And once again, we have 3 different nationalities in the top 3. We have the Dane, Lasseback, leading the way. Carl Janssen from Sweden in second. And the Norwegian, Ola Steinbronn, in third. And from Ola all the way down to 15th place is all Norwegian drivers. The field is mainly Norwegian drivers, in fact. Love this section of the circuit. So many ups and downs, so many harsh curbs. Great, isn't it? Really is great. This is a bit where the drivers really have to focus, like really have to focus so much. The car can get so unsettled over any of these crests. Any little moment where you just put too much steering lock on, you need to react to any wheel spin, any bumps so quickly. Oh no, Marius Skoglund's had an issue. Further back, the Racing Performance Centre driver down the hill, flicks it one way then the other. He has a bounce on the curb, manages to recover it over the curb again. Edward May in the chat, good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Oh, Marius' car is not behaving itself, is it? It's got a real issue with that Merc there. I mean, we can all see that there's an issue with it. Obviously, look at the shape of it. Looks like he's done alright here, though. What on earth has... Oh, this was just before it. Oh, it flicks one way, then the other. Sindre Sass has gone off for a moment as well. Niles Erik Isaacson has also had another moment. Oh, he's done the same thing, but he's actually spun it around. Oh, he just kisses the barrier. I thought he might have just kept that out of the wall there. Sindre's gone off for a moment also. I think that might be here. Is it? No. Maybe out of the exit here. Oh, that's wide indeed. Yep, that's going to kill his run up the Dottinger Höhe. Louis Rizan also had an accident. Whoa, that's a big slide through there. Puts it against the wall, plenty of smoke. Great way to enter stage right, or enter stage left. Well, listen to it. We'll appreciate the sounds. No, it doesn't really build up the revs on the way out. Either way, he's back on, and Sindre is under pressure now from Kenneth Ostwald. Right behind. Carl Frederick Hassug is in the pit lane. Bit of damage on that car as well. Highest placed car that's pitted so far is Jeppe Johannesson. Silver Fox Racing, he's in 28th at the minute. And we've got more drivers coming in. Matthias Jensen, probably sick of the damage on the front of that car. Lasser back did the fastest lap of the race last time round, a 7 minutes 37.4. And we've got a number of drivers coming in. As you see on the left, we've got Dorgard on his way in now as well. Look at Lasser using all the road. Let's just go on board with him for another second here. It's just great, isn't it? Look at that. He's so quick lap after lap. You can hear that the car's trying to break away. It just gets that little bit of slip in the tyre. You just hear it break away from the surface. You get that little audible indication there. Because that's one of the main things through sim racing that you have to tune yourself into. That's the main difference between doing it in the real world and the feel that you get for it in the sim. A lot of the way the car is behaving in the sim has to be picked up through the wheel and through visual and audio cues. Whereas in the real world, you can just feel the car through your backside. You know, you've got the G-forces. But in the sim, you have to get it all through the wheel, listen out for any slide, and just visualise whether the car is over-rotating in comparison to what you're trying to do. Look at that, it's almost jumping through the left-hander there. Christian Nielsen saying that Lasser is third in the Danish Championship Series, driving in the Porsche 911 Cup car. Yes, I've actually seen adverts for that series. That looks like a really exciting one as well. I hope that's going well for everybody involved. I keep meaning to watch that back, you know. Keep meaning to watch the broadcast of that. Look at the commitment through there. Look how many little inputs he's putting in on the wheel as well, just to carry the momentum of this car. It may look nice and smooth on the outside, but he's really wrestling with it in there. I mean, it's great to watch. You've got to love it, haven't you? A little bit of damage on the front right again, but part of me just thinks that's down to the curbs. Kenneth Ostwald still holding on to Sindre Setsas, though. Sindre, after that little mistake before, not able to break free. Oh, Marius Skoglund's had another issue. He's around. That's a real moment. Kai Schubert's also had an issue. Oh, way too hot into there. That's going to be a massive hit. And I think, yeah, that was right in front of our race leader. Kai Schubert's just had this as well. Oh, I think, you know, that's exactly where Anders Lillejorde did that earlier. And I think it was Kai that actually hit Anders after he'd had the crash. So he's ended up in the same spot, unfortunately for him. Sindre still in fifth. He'll be happy with the top 5 at the moment. We'll have a look for your biggest mover in the field. You've got to consider that there are some pit stops involved behind this guy, but Chris Tapio is currently gained 16 places in this race at the moment. So he's on an absolute flyer. But there are a lot of drivers behind him that have pitted, so there are the drivers that have pitted. These incidents sum up my Nord's experience, says Edward May. Yeah, you and me both, mate. You and me both. I love hot lap in this circuit, but I wouldn't really call it a hot lap. I'd call it a lukewarm lap. I'd just drive around it tentatively. As Kenneth Ostwald, well, there was nothing tentative about that, was there? Kenneth there trying to put the pressure on Sindre, but putting a bit of pressure into the grass and ruining the groundskeeper's day. Can you imagine being the groundskeeper here? Through the carousel again, ridiculous speeds through there. Little hop of wheel spin on the exit as per. And it looks like Sindre breaking away a little bit up the hill there. Through the double right, through the left crest. And again, right, left, right. So much flow to this part of the circuit. I absolutely love it. The concentration must be absolutely immense from Kenneth Ostwald right now. Trying to chase down Sindre at such pace. Oh no, Quinn Adams has had an issue. He's had a bad one, you could say. Car looking a bit out of shape. Oh, he's on the grass. It's flicked one with the other. Wow, big hit into the wall. Oh, without the jump in the wall. We actually saw that in the real world 24 this year, didn't we? The car is very out of shape and very broken, and that, unfortunately, for Quinn, is the end of his race by the look of it. We've lost quite a number of cars so far. In the pits we have, well, let's show you. We have Kenneth Palsrud, Matthias Dahl, Havard Collin. We've got Kai Schubert, Quinn Badams. Also got Marius Skoglund and Stein Björk as well. Stefan Hjelvik, Mats Borg Andersen. They're all out of the race and no longer competing. The closest two on track, though, are not these guys, actually. It's Lucas Dorgaard on the back of Jeppe Johannesson. Oh, Christian Hovden's had an issue in his very garish livery. And so, too, is Idar Gjerdevic, but he's managed to recover from that. Oh, Louis Rieshand's car needs to recover from this, doesn't it? It's a very pretty car, but it's not one that's behaving itself at the moment. We go back to this, though. These are the two closest cars on track at the moment. Jeppe Johannesson and Lucas Dorgaard just about half a second apart. $15 minutes of the race left to go. Just a quarter of it left. Did I tell you what? Actually, this has got close. You want lovely liveries, Edward May? I implore you. Oh, by the way, race leader in. Everybody's going to be coming in now. I implore you to look no further than this wonderful creation. The AXA SimSport livery with Matthias Berk at the wheel. Look at that. People are going to get sick of me going on about it, but look at how the windscreen banner melds in with the roof. Oh, we can't even get a good look at it from there. Look at that. There you go. It is a beautiful creation. We'll give you a lovely slow-mo shot as well as it comes up the hill. Hopefully the camera blur doesn't absolutely ruin it. But there's that wonderful livery. Look at the state of it. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous car. Great stuff from whoever painted that AXA SimSport car. Now then, Lasse Bak is back out on track. Carl Janssen second, Steinbratton third. Everybody coming in the pits, but literally for a splash and dash at the minute. 12-second pit stops. Here's the two Coanda Junior cars going out together. Very much in flying formation. 14 and 4. Their teammate Oscar Bixrod is just up the road as well. So the three of them together at the minute. I'll show you the teams on the left-hand side, in fact. So you can see just about who is where. Williams Esports leading the way. Two PX Racing cars in the top 4. And then the best of the MB Racing Esport Nordic machines, 6th and 7th. Kenneth Ostwald, the highest placed driver out of that lot. Still plenty of drivers pitting at the moment. You can see there, everybody now completing their stop. Chris Tapio's just on his way in. Oh no, Kenneth Palsrud's gone off. And he's been off a few times actually. What has gone on here? We'll go on board. Says to me privateer. Oh, it looks like one of the MB cars, but he's gone around and hit the wall. I think he's come back on, and then he's had another issue after that. Oh no, this is when he's just gone off. Let's see if there's another one. He's trying to get it moving. He's trying to at least get it spun around. And oh, that's a big old hit to the wall, that is, Kenneth. It's not going to do the front of the car any good. He's in the pits, actually, after that. But the battle is on for second place now. Again. Carl Janssen and Ola Steinbratton. So we listen to the 6.3 litre V8 roar after Flugplatz. Over the crest to the left into the hairpin. You've got to be so careful of any dirty air or the aero wash. Not too bad in GT3 cars, but still dirty air from underneath the diffuser, the rear wing. Any other bits of air that these cars have that disturbs the airflow. It can all have a negative effect on the car behind. Steinbratton just trying to stay close at the moment. That's the main thing here. Stay close to Carl Janssen. Chase him down. It's easier said than done when it's the likes of Carl Janssen. I've raced against Carl myself in a different championship in GTE cars, where Carl was driving the Ford GT GTE and ended up being the champion as well. And from just a few laps when I was around Carl on circuit, I can tell you that he's absolutely ridiculously fast. And I'm not. There's a reason that I commentate, everybody, and that's because I can't drive to save my life. I'm alright in the real world as a real road user, but in the sim I'm just nowhere near as quick as these boys. Either way, what a great chase we've got going on here. And then in the background you've got Kenneth Gulbrandsen as well, hoping to join in this party. Lucas Dorgaard starting his own party with Jeppe Johannesson just in front. Jeppe Johannesson, though, is going to be hoping that VG Racing eSport team machine goes away very quickly. Mike Spangler saying, I have feelings for Carl Janssen. I wouldn't be surprised, mate. He's such a lovely guy. He's so funny. He's a real top bloke, is Carl Janssen. How many of these sim races don't have a real life driver's license? That is a very good question, and unfortunately I do not have the answer to that. I wish I did, though, because that's a really good question. I know a number of drivers that race in the sim in real life that just are, you know, they don't drive in real life and they just somehow have the ability to understand what the car's doing. It's great, it really is. There's a wonderful story of Gregor Hutu, actually, who flew over after winning the iRacing Grand Prix World Championship Series, Championship, whatever it was called, league thing, years ago, and it had the ridiculously long name. After he won it a couple of times, they flew him over to Road Atlanta to drive the Skip Barber in real life. The main thing people remember from that video is that he was sick all over himself, but that's not the point. You know, Gregor didn't have a driving license. He'd flown over from Finland, where he's used to really cold temperatures, went to Atlanta where it was very, very hot, and he went, there was something, I don't quote me on this, but he was within a few seconds of the instructor's best time at the circuit, within a few hours. And he was just ridiculously fast and he just had it down, you know. And that's a real shout as to how good the sims are. You know, they can teach you what to understand from these cars. They can teach you the fundamentals. As wow, Lucas Dorgaard. All he's doing is guarding the racing line, but wow, fantastic stuff. Even a little moment there from Jeppe Johannesson. Got out of shape. Lucas, really gutsy stuff. That was fantastic. Carl Janssen, the fastest lorry driver on earth. Oh, I don't know. 1v1 me on Euro Truck Simulator. They are, Carl. Now, Carl is brilliant, though. Really good. But Lasser back, what can you say? He's got one more lap after this one. And it's looking like a very comfortable drive at the moment. What else has he got in his bag, though, for the rest of the season? We've got one more round after this, Circuit de la Sarthe at Le Mans. It's bound to be a strong race there as well. But Lasser has just been a real superstar and a lot of fun to watch. A bit further down the order, we have Emil Larsen. Just chasing down Marti Jakola in the Team Vikings machine. I absolutely love the livery on this car. There's another one that I should have shown Ed May before he disappeared. Great looking car, the Team Vikings machine, with his name on the windscreen banner as well. I think Matthias Dahl is out of the race, unfortunately. He is still sat there, and I think the car may be damaged beyond the repairs that can be done in this time period. We only have 6.5 minutes left to go. And this race has certainly flown by. I do hope you have enjoyed it so far. Make sure you do like the video as well, guys. Please do subscribe to Chaz Draycott Media. I'd be very grateful for the support. And of course, you can then remember to catch up with us for the final round in 2 weeks at Circuit de la Sarthe. at Le Mans. I'm very much looking forward to the finale. Get the championship wrapped up. This is Sindre Setsas then, still with Kenneth Ostwald in tow. The yellow calipers really stand out on that livery. I mean, they'll stand out on all the cars now that I've mentioned it, but on that livery alone, they just really do stand out. And similar on the core sim racing car as well, really. Indeed, Peter. You know, he did put in a good performance, did Matthias, but it's just a shame it's come to nothing here. Do I cover sim rally? Unfortunately not. I've not actually commentated on any sim racing rallying. I haven't ever really seen a broadcast of it. I know that they do broadcast it, but I've never sat down and given it the time, I must admit. Rallying does interest me now and then. It's something that I slip in and out of interest with. I mean, I've got huge respect for the guys that do it, because it's not as simple as stuff like this. Not that this is even simple, but you know what I mean. You're on loose surfaces, changing surfaces, you've got trees either side of you. You've not got safety barriers or any other cars to race against. You're simply just racing against the clock. You are going as fast as you can off-road, and it is frightening. So for the guys that do it in real life, and of course the guys that do it in the sim, I have a huge amount of respect. Either way, there's respect going on here between Setsas and Oswald. The two of them still sticking right together. Kenneth's teammate Jarl Tyen starting to close in a little bit there. Not too much at the moment. Asger Radstedt has got past Eirik Larsen. Just as they get to the end of the Dottinger Her. Round the outside up there. That's gutsy stuff. Love that. You've got to love that. Nicely done. And yeah, I agree. You know, Group B rally cars, wonderful bits of kit. Really are. Look at these things twitching over the crest. Great stuff. 3.5 minutes left to go with this race. I can't believe how quickly it's flown by. You may say, yeah, but Chaz, it's only 8 laps. Even still, there have been some very, very exciting laps indeed. Kenneth Ostwald wants to get this done on the final lap, you know. And if he's patient enough to wait till the final run up the Dottinger Her, he's going to get it done, I reckon. It's hard to defend up there. We saw an amazing defence earlier, but unfortunately not everybody can manage that. What can Ostwald manage though? That's the intriguing thing. I just want to enjoy the sound of that 6.3 litre V8. Great, isn't it? Great chase here. You can see the suspension really working hard on the front left of this Mercedes. He's able to stay with Sindre down here, but it's much harder being the car in front compared to the car behind on this circuit. You sort of feel that pressure from the car behind you, while also trying to go about your own race, which is hard enough anyway around here at the Nordschleife. Onto the fast part of the circuit again. Way out in front though, 5.5 seconds nearly ahead of second place. Lasser back, still doing a beautiful job. Carl Janssen is in second with Ollie Steinbratton still in there as well. So this battle isn't done either. Looks like we've lost 10, 11 cars maybe from this race. Actually, no. Oh, good news. Matthias Dahl is still out there. He's got back out there again, which is good. Good persistence to see this to the end. We've lost only 9 cars from the race so far, which is very good indeed. Thank you everybody that has been subscribing as well, by the way. I really do appreciate it. Around December time, I barely had 300 subscribers. I mean, I know we're not talking big numbers, but even still, surpassing 450 the other day really did make me happy. It's another 50% growth in just a month and a bit, so, you know, a lot of it is down to this championship as well, so I'm really grateful for the guys choosing me to be their broadcaster and commentator for this. It's helped me out massively, and the support since taking this series on has been brilliant, so honestly, thank you, everybody. So, 25 seconds left to go with this race, and this will be the final lap of it from Lasse back. I think it's only fitting that we ride on board with him through this last section. If anything does happen further back, we will take a look at it. But this, at the moment, is some phenomenal stuff by the Williams Esports driver. Look at the jump there, that's just great, isn't it? Up through the double right, then over the crest again. He's going to chuck it to the left. A little bit of a slide on the apex. Down the hill, another jump, because he's carrying that much speed there that he manages to get it off the ground twice. Through the Stefan Bellof S. And the driving you're seeing right now is the exact reason why Lasse back is going to take his second win of the season. I'd love for him to have done it twice, so I could say it was back to back for back. But we've gone back to square one in only having his first win on the trot, but still second of the season. Through the long right then, onto the Dottinger Her once again. Brilliant stuff. Really brilliant stuff for Lasse. Just behind, Carl Janssen has now got to try and defend from Ola Steinbart, and he's trying to break the slipstream, weaving around. Ola would do well here to just stay in the straight line, to be fair. But now he's choosing to follow him. It's a very interesting tactic. It's a very aggressive tactic, to be fair, from Carl Janssen. I'm not sure whether it's going to work. Ola's still in this. Goes to the right. Very close together as they go up the hill. I feel like we're going to have to cut away from it. This contact, Carl Janssen sideways. What a save! What a save by Carl Janssen. Oh no, Ola's gone down the inside. Lasse back is going to take the race win. 2 out of 3 this season. Mega stuff. And Ola Steinbraten is going to make it past. Oh my god, that's fantastic racing. Carl Janssen will be absolutely gutted. And to be fair, Gulbranson there waited behind him. Sindre Setsas is just going to beat Kenneth Ostfold to the line. Who else is in a battle? Carl Peder Nordstrand with his teammate Benjamin Fuglesang just behind him. We've got a battle with Kim Salverson as well. Sindre Furuseth, these two side by side. Oh, big contact. That's a massive hit with the wall for Kim Salverson. Oh, it's so difficult to leave the space when you're going up there. The cars bump around and move all over the place. Furuseth continues on, so does Salverson. And they go to the line. That was a real shame for it to end that way. Like I said, though, it's so easy to just make a tiny bit of contact. It's difficult to lose space. Leave space, I should say. Here's Godestad, bit of damage on that car, so Dorgard going through quite easily. He's got Jeppe Johannesson just behind now, tucked right in under his rear wing. And then, of course, Matthias Berk in there as well. Up the hill they go, onto the brakes. Looks like a bit of a stalemate here at the moment. Don't think we're going to see too many moves into the final couple of corners. Lucas Dorgard is going to take 18th position in this race. Godestad 19th, Johannesson 20th, Matthias Berk 21st. Across the line they go. Asger Radstedt just a bit further back. Eiriko Lawson just behind as well. Malte Reimert 25 seconds back after that. But what can you say about Lasse back? Awesome, awesome stuff. Really awesome stuff from Lasse. A very, very deserving race winner once again in this championship. Now let's have a look at this between Ola Steinbraten and Carl Janssen, because it was an interesting tactic, but Ola just sort of used a bit less steering lock and just carried the pace. Got the odd bit of slipstream here and there. Through they go. Now let's just slow-mo this, shall we? Through the left they go. You can see Carl does touch the line on the left. There's just... again, it is netcode. It's a fantastic save. Look at that from Carl Janssen. A lot of netcode. Carl manages to get it back down the inside on the brakes. A little bit of a bump on the inside. Look how that car moves there. It's brilliant. Steinbratton goes to the apex. But he's got a bit of a slide look. The car is completely sideways as he's chucked it in. I think there's going to be a tiny touch and it's going to put Carl on the grass. Yes, there is the tiniest touch. And then Carl, unfortunately, out of shape due to that one. Gets a big bounce off the curb. Oh, is he going to hit the wall as well? Oh, little bounce off the wall. Not the biggest hit, but still enough to completely ruin the momentum. And Steinbratton takes second. Janssen taking third. What happened as well was Furuseth and Salverson. I'm not going to get my amateur steward's hat out here, but look, weaving again, trying to stop the slipstreaming. Joachim saying he hopes it works out for me so I don't have to go back to the local comedy club open mic nights. Oh, trust me, mate. I'll be no good at them. Let's just have a look here. Oh, that's a tough one to call. There's just two drivers going for a space, and it just closes up on the way in there. But we should have our results, although we don't actually. We still have drivers finishing the race. Aidar Gjerdevic coming through. Kjellin has finished. Jakola has as well. I think Hovden still has to cross the line before we get a result out of this. So we do have to wait for them. We've also got Sundergaard, Andreas Helgerud as well. Louis Rizan is actually halfway around a lap, so we might even have to wait here. Thank you very much, Anders. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. I love what I do with the commentary. I absolutely adore doing this. Being able to break away from having a full-time job and doing this on the side and going full-time with commentary this year has been amazing. I did that in September, actually. Funnily enough, my last day at work was the day before I flew out to Germany to go and do the Nurburgring 24. That was literally my first day of self-employment, was flying to Germany to cover one of the biggest races in the world. I wouldn't be able to do it without my partner, though, Beth. Bless her. She's very supportive of what I do, very helpful with everything. And she allows me to follow my dream day in, day out. Either way, what a wonderful race we've just had here. Here's Andreas Helgerud. Wow, I don't know how we've not seen this car already this evening. Very bright machine, isn't it? Even the wheels as well. If you do want to check out anything else that I do, by the way, guys, I'll put a link to chazdraycott.com in the YouTube chat. That's a link to my website. You'll be able to see more on me, what I've done, what I'm going to be doing, and so on. You give it a quick look if you like. Obviously, wait till after the broadcast. We're going to try and get some driver interviews in. Oh no, Andreas Helgerud. Oh, he's not. Oh heck, mate. That's a big hit there. Louis Rizan, I was going to say will be around here somewhere, but he's not that close, unfortunately. Helgerud gets going again, but that's not quite the run that you want onto the Dottinger Hare, is it? Louis Rizan as well, dragging that car around somehow. I don't even think it's driving in a straight line, is it? Looks like it's crabbing slightly. Oh, it's like someone's taken an AMG GT3 and turned it into like one of those sort of banger racing stock cars, doesn't it? Certainly got some good angle on that rear wing either way. He'll still be going quicker than I ever would around this circuit as well, even with the car like that. Helgerud's about to cross the line and finish the race. I think that car is really not behaving itself. It's trying to turn left by the look of it. I think the left rear's actually been buckled in slightly as well, you know. Seems like it's really far inside the arch, although that might just be how it sits. Across the line comes Helgerud. He'll be glad to get that one out of the way with that damage there. And yes, that's a very good shout, actually. Thank you very much to wonderful Joachim Gulbrandsen. Ola Steinbraten joins me in the box. That was, I mean, it's the Nurburgring Nordschleife. It's always going to be a difficult one to get right, mate. How did you find that?
Yeah, so, to be honest, I didn't really have that big expectations for this race. But after qualifying, when I had really good work from my teammate Kenneth, I managed P2. After lap 1, Carl Jensen was right behind me, and I let him by and just tried to save fuel and just stay with him. And then on the last lap, we came really close down Tiergarten, and I don't remember it, but and then first we got the net code, and then I saw him go sideways, so I was pretty sure he was going to hit me. But I kept braking, and then I slid into him, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was just one of those moments, wasn't it? You know, really close racing at that speed when you're trying to get the car slowed down, try and get it settled. It's never easy to avoid contact, but I mean, all the way through, you guys seem to have a really good battle. I bet you had quite the smile on your face with that one.
Yeah, Carl raced the Porsche Esports Super Cup last year, and he's a really talented driver, so for me to be able to keep up with him was just an amazing feeling, and the battle was really cool, so I'm happy.
And we saw, obviously, you mentioned it there, the wonderful slipstreaming work that you did in qualifying as well. I mean, if you watch the broadcast back, you'll hear my surprise at how well that worked. You know, I expected it to help you up a few places, but to get second out of that, you must have been over the moon with that, because it really did work well, didn't it?
Yeah, so my initial plan was just to go out on full tank and just basically do a race run and just push laps.
Yeah. And
then I decided to go in and change tire before my last flying lap, and I think I was over 2 seconds up when I came to Daytona, and then I gained a bit under a second from Kenneth, so
wow.
That was amazing teamwork, so yeah.
Yeah, definitely. One of the best bits of teamwork I've seen in sim racing for a long time, because a lot of the time, as you often probably find in sim racing, teammates are only really good at hitting each other in the sim racing side of things. But either way, it was a strong performance tonight, mate, and 1 round left in the championship. Do you think you can have a similar performance there?
It's hard to say, because Le Mans, it's all about the slipstream, so yeah. I feel like even if you're let's say half a second off the pace, you can still keep up with the train. So it's gonna be a really tough race, and but I'm hoping I can get a good result there as well. So excited for that one.
Yeah, we are too. It'll be certainly an interesting one to watch. Like you say, the slipstreaming, it sort of levels the playing field a little bit at a track like that, and I think it's going to stay very close, much like we had at Daytona, actually. You know, we had a very, very close race there. Before I let you go, though, is there anybody you'd like to give a quick shout-out to, mate?
Yeah, especially to my teammate Kenneth Gulbrandsen for the slipstreaming in qualifying. That definitely helped me up a few positions, which made P2 possible today. And also thank you to the sponsor HTO for sponsoring the team. So really happy.
Brilliant stuff. Great to speak to you, mate. Very well done, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time for the finale. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers. Mr. Steinbraten there. Fantastic performance today, and as we said, that slipstreaming in qualifying certainly worked out well for him. Now, the man that he had a wonderful battle with at the end there, and probably save of the century, I must say, Carl Jansen joins me in the chat. Carl, you must have goosebumps from those last few corners there, and unfortunately it didn't go your way with the tiny bit of contact, but it was a hell of a race up to that point, wasn't it?
Yeah, prep wasn't really how I would have liked it to be. Had a lot of stuff going on this week, so prep has not been as good as I would have wanted to. But yeah, I mean, made the best out of the situation. The car wasn't really much faster than this, and yeah, coming down to the Tiergarten there. Unfortunately, we had some contact on the exit there. But yeah, I mean, it was a good battle up until that point.
Yeah, indeed, it certainly looked like. I mean, I often say to people that the scariest battles that you have a lot of the time are not the ones where there's always overtaking maneuvers going on. It's just when the gap between the two of you stays really close and you're just chasing numbers, aren't you, at that point? It's a bit sort of more in your head, isn't it, those sorts of battles?
Oh yeah, for sure. I was trying to get enough of a gap so that I could have him down the straight. The previous lap I maybe had a few more kilometers out of him, like out on the straight there. And then I kept it ahead. But yeah, last lap there, the fronts were a bit too gone to keep the speed out of the corner. And yeah, I mean, it's just those small margins. If he would have gotten side by side with me just after the corner, who knows? He probably wouldn't have gone for it.
Yeah.
Now he was there 2-3 seconds earlier, and that's all that it took. So.
Yeah, indeed. It's very, very close indeed, isn't it, mate? And obviously one more round to go at Le Mans in 2 weeks' time for the finale. Are you feeling confident for that one?
Hopefully for that one, most of the series is done, so should be able to have a bit more prep for that one.
Yeah.
Well. Because the stuff right now, like, there's so much stuff going on. Last round of DNLS was finished today, so drove that before this actually. And then I think there's one more round of SEO or something like that. So most of the series that's been running during the winter now is starting to come to an end, and that opens up the gap for a lot more prep to this series, which should be good.
Yeah, definitely. I would look forward to seeing how you get on in that final one, mate. And you know the question by now, do you want to give anybody a quick shout out while you're here?
Oh yeah, everyone at Core Sim Racing, especially Sindre, and yeah, everyone making the series happen. You, the organizers, yeah, really good job on making it work.
Thank you very much, mate. Pleasure to have you, Carl, and we'll speak to you in a few weeks at Le Mans. See you soon.
Yeah, later.
Cheers. And the final interview of the evening, the man that seemingly nobody could get anywhere near tonight. It was like a repeat of Spa-Francorchamps, but Lasse Back joins me in the chat. Lasse, you must be over the moon with that one, because I know that while it may have looked easy on the outside, we rode on board with you a few times. It looked like you were really working hard there.
Yeah, I was definitely working hard. It wasn't easy at all. If it looked that way sometimes, yeah, I don't know. The car was actually all over the place at the end. When the tank was starting to get lighter at like 20 liters in the tank, the car just started to slide everywhere.
Yeah.
So I think the setup was something wrong there. But I didn't expect to honestly do this good on this track. This was actually my first race on this track ever.
Oh wow!
Nurburgring. Yeah, I've only been practicing the track and I've never raced on it. So, but yeah, this is the first race.
Well, 100% win record then, eh?
yeah, not bad.
That's always a good one. Well.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely a tough race, a really tough race for me.
Yeah, it's one of those circuits, isn't it? You know, you can put 100 laps in here and get one good one, but trying to string that together over a race run is never easy at all. And I suppose you can say the same about where we are in 2 weeks' time. We head to Circuit de la Sarthe at Le Mans. Is that a track that you're going to be confident at, or is that another one here where you just got to sort of get into a rhythm and see what happens on the night?
Yeah, I definitely did a lot of races on the Circuit de la Sarthe, but yeah, it's a tough track to get away from because we have the long straight. And I think it's going to be a really close battle on that track between top 5, maybe even top 10. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good race to watch. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I'm expecting something like Daytona because of all the slipstreaming and everything. It'll keep everybody together, won't it? So it'll be a lot of fun. Before we sort of wrap up for the evening, though, Lasse, is there anybody you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to Williams Esport and everyone behind the series that made the series happen, which is insane. Really fun and pro series. I guess you can say it's really professional to be in with all the rules and stuff. So yeah, shout out to them and yeah, I think that's it.
Smashing stuff. Great to speak to you, Lasse. Thank you very much, mate. And we'll see you in a few weeks at Le Mans.
Yep, sure.
Cheers. And we'll squeeze one more in here because another man that's been waiting very patiently in the interview waiting room here on Discord is Kenneth Gulbranson, who joins us. Kenneth, that looked like you really had to work hard there to try and close the gap down, but unfortunately you just couldn't quite catch the top 3 in the end. How did you find it?
Yeah, I was sort of in between battles, so was around 2 seconds behind Ole and pushing like crazy. Tried to get in the draft, but yeah, I felt I drove as fast as I could, but couldn't really do anything. So yeah.
It's one of those tracks, isn't it? You can push the car, but it's very easy to overstep the limit round here, isn't it? Because of how close the walls are, there's just grass either side of you. You know, you can't really get away with much around here, can you?
And also the rear tires towards the end were like really gone. So yeah, had to babysit them a bit and try not to overdrive the car. So.
Yeah, it's very, like I say, easy to push it beyond its limit here. We're just watching a bit of slow-mo footage of you chasing down one of the core cars as well. I believe it's Carl Janssen and then one of the MB cars in there as well. There was so much slipstreaming going on down the Dottinger Höhe. Every time you got to that part of the circuit, was it just a case of, oh no, I really need to think who's around me here? You know, who do I keep my eye on? Because it seems like it's very difficult to defend up there.
Yeah, and also we have to think about the Grand Prix straight afterwards into turn 1. So if you go for the overtake on Dottinger, you will sort of be vulnerable in turn 1. But yeah, I got up to P4 quite early and managed to pull a gap. So for me, I think it was the highest up I could be. So I'm happy.
Well, that's it. You know, it's plenty of points on the board in terms of the championship. And speaking of the championship, 1 round to go at Le Mans, Circuit de la Sarthe in 2 weeks. How are you feeling about going there?
I think it will be fun. A lot of drafting, and also it's important to not get slowdown penalties. So a lot of practice needs to be done. So yeah.
Well, I imagine you'll be on that straight away then, mate, because I know how hard you boys work for all of this. It's very, very amazing, and we really do respect it here. Now, before we wrap up, mate, is there anybody you'd like to give a quick shout out to while you're on the stream?
I have to be the team, and also especially Ole. We practiced a lot on this track. We both enjoy it, so it was good to get both of us into the top 4. So it was good. Thanks to him.
Cracking stuff. Well, great to speak to you again, Kenneth. Very well done today, and I look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks' time. Cheers. Brilliant stuff then. There you go, everybody. Our interview's rounded out for the evening. But Lasserbach takes another phenomenal win here in the Scandinavian GT Series. Ola Steinbraten and Carl Janssen have a little bit of contact towards the end. Feisty stuff right at the end of this race. Kenneth Gulbrandsen finishing 4th, who we just spoke to there. Sindre Setsas in 5th. As you heard there, we are back again in 2 weeks' time for the final round of the championship from Circuit de la Sarthe at Le Mans. It's going to be a real wonderful evening. But thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everyone that's liked and subscribed as well. Please continue to do so and support the channel. I will be ever grateful. My name is Chaz Draycott. This has been the Scandinavian GT Series, and we will see you in 2 weeks' time. Good night.